1229, 1229, July the 2nd, Tuesday, here in New York City. You know, I was thinking of you. I was driving in, and I saw young women walking on the street, Fifth Avenue, and not too far from Trump, Fifth Avenue in the 50s, just walking by themselves. A lot of people walking around. More cops than I've ever seen, just doing the patrol thing. And there was a sense of, at least in the city, I can't speak for other boroughs, but in Manhattan, there is an absolute equanimity, a calm, a sense of calmness, or not calmness, calm, I should just say, calm, that is taking over, and that a lot of people should recognize, because some folks do not believe that in the world of, in the world of New York, that somehow there's this calm. People just have these, I get this all the time, where they say things like, people say things like, oh my God, where people will say things like, I'm afraid to come to this city. I'm afraid to come to New York. Why? Well, I'm just afraid. Well, why are you afraid? Well, I just am. I don't, and they don't really know anything about New York or why they would be here. But in any event, it's a beautiful time. I want to jump into it. First of all, I want everybody to accept my thanks for you being here. I want to go through a few things. Check some stuff. Here we go. John Jelaine, was Brigitte Macron ever a woman? What do you think? Was she? Was she? Everybody weigh in. Was she? Do you think she was? I'm curious. Dan says no. Susie says no. Peggy says never. How do you know? Could what, Candace Owens? How do you know she was never a woman? How do you know what you know? How? I'm dying to know. Tell me. I'll wait. I'll wait. How do you know what you know? I'm dying to know. How do you know what you know? And people will say, no, this is really good. This is good. Because people don't know, but they listen to Candace Owens, or they've seen some pictures, or they see some evidence which to them might be, and this is interesting, by the way. This is interesting. They see evidence in which people will say, well, I guess it was, maybe she was. How do you know Brigitte Macron was not a woman? And I did not even plan on this, but we'll get into this, because tonight's subject is going to be Leah Thomas. How do you know this? Anybody? Get ready, they won't be able to tell you. First, people will not write enough words to explain to you why they're of the opinion. Number two, people love the idea of this. There's something about it which is kind of fun, because we basically love whenever there's I don't know what the word, we love when there's a we just love controversy. And we don't know why we say what we do. We just kind of believe it, sort of, but we really don't know. So my question to you is, how do you know what you know? And let's see. I'll just wait. Anybody who says this, answer my question. Anybody? Anybody? I'm looking for one thing right now, which is a pain in the neck. How do you know what you know? Go ahead, I'm waiting. Anybody? Anybody want to weigh in? Anybody? Diffusion is the word you're looking for. Diffusion. Common sense, S-E-N-C-E. her past is questionable? Why is it common sense? See, nobody will tell you. This is the most important. Imagine you're doing closing arguments and you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to find that we have proved beyond a reasonable doubt why we believe this. And you will not hear anything. Nothing. 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 Nobody explains anything. Absolutely nothing. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to hear why this is so. Why this is the case. Anybody? I want to hear. Tell me why. No, I'm serious. Because you're not, here's the question. Tell me why. You're standing before a jury and I want you to find her not guilty, or not guilty of being a woman and guilty of being a man. I want you to tell me this. Tell me. And what would you say? Forgive me as I pour through this. This is very rude, but I had to do this one thing. Okay? Anybody? 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 Nothing. This is such a great. Only 5 senses can enter. Don't know what that means. Again, this has been my theme lately. If you read any of the conversations that we have, nobody says anything. It's like they want to say something. It's like they have it's like they're coming out of a coma or something, and they want very much to convey some type of idea, but they really don't know what to say. They can't speak. They can't put it into words. They're different, like their right or left hemispheres have been completely distorted, and they can't speak. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. They are without the ability to speak. And you will hear absolutely nothing. Because we love this kind of, we kind of know that. It's just like Barack Obama, you will say, was not born in this country, right? Of course that's what you say. You will say Barack Obama was not born in this country. And you won't be able to say why exactly. Because you kind of like there's a generic feeling for this. Now let me see. It has been proven with the DNA test. It has to be proven with the DNA test. It has to be either XX or XY. Rarely XXY. Yes, XXY is Klinefelters and the like. Anybody? Somebody writes, Deb E., hermaphrodite. What does that mean, Deb? It's hard to communicate with text. No, it's not. It's called English. I love to communicate with text. I love to be able to say. It's easy. Nobody, how do I say this? This is nothing. This goes to prove how we know so many things that we really don't know about. We don't know. And this is so fascinating. Look up my word, okay? LOL, hermaphrodite. Why is that funny? LOL? Deb, do you think that's funny? I mean, seriously, this is, and I love you, this is inane. I'm with Candace, I believe her. Believe what? What has Candace said? What has Candace Owens proved? What? Tell me. Nothing, you don't know. Well, she did a show one time and they were going to sue me, and we got some pictures, and there were these pictures where she looked kind of like a man, I guess. Maybe, sort of. Is that it? OMG, no, you asked a question, so I gave my answer. Deb, that's not an answer. Hermaphrodite, that's not an answer. How do you know? Do you believe? You didn't answer anything. You wrote hermaphrodite. This woman, if you read along, that's not, you didn't prove anything. You wrote hermaphrodite. You can also call it pseudo-hermaphrodite. You could put bi-curious. I don't know what that means. But what I'm telling you is that you don't know what you know. You kind of know things. You sort of think, well, yeah. It's like, how many of you believe that Michelle Obama is a man? And you say, Joan Rivers, that's not an example. We just say things that we think we know. We don't We really don't know. We only see what had shown. If the claims were bogus, they would be ignored. That's not true at all. Rick Raguso writes, if the claims were bogus, they would be ignored. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. On the internet, ignored? Bogus claims ignored? No, you wouldn't. You see, this is one of the best examples. You really don't know anything about this. Because you're involved in the scrum. You're involved in kind of, and let's be honest, kind of a juvenescent, puerile kind of a scrum. This group of people that love to get together and love to just get mean and laugh and point fingers. And it's very easy because you're not, how do I say this? You're not invested in anything. You don't have any skin in the game. It means kind of nothing to you. So consequently, you're just doing whatever it is you're doing. Why? Sean writes, latest on Kate Middleton, question mark. Are you asking what's the latest on Kate Middleton? Are you asking if I've heard about the latest of Kate Middleton? Do you want to discuss the latest on Kate Middleton? What does latest on Kate Middleton question mark mean? What does that mean? Do you know something about Kate Middleton? Is there something we should know? Chuck Sirikis says, hate to be late, but are you still sticking with your Diddy verdict prediction from Redact the other day? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Remember, not guilty, acquittal, or reverse on appeal. Yep. They can't even find an answer on the racketeering case. Wow. Not on racketeering? What's the rest? So, I guess Cassie is a prostitute that they brought across straight lines. He did human trafficking. She got $10 million, what, from the hotel. I don't know, 20 or so million from him. This is a sex... Come on, stop it. Jesse Tucker says he has the body frame of a man. Who? Jesse, who? When you have 50 different sentences and you pop up with, he has the body frame of a man. Who? Again, I don't know. Michael is a man equals Michelle. This isn't it. You don't know any. This is beautiful. Read this. Brigitte, I could see this is so perfect. When you write a sentence as though only your sentence we're reading. Write it as though we're only reading that sentence. You've got plenty of room. Throw it into ChatGPT. Write a couple of sentences. Put 30 words, 40 words, whatever the particular limit is. Say it. Spend a little time. And be clear with what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. Brigitte, I could follow it. What happened to Eric Adams? Elon? Dan? Again, this is just, if you love this, this is why it's so good. You don't know anything. Would I be surprised if Brigitte Macron was a man? Of course not. Does she have some kind of, looks sort of like it, has that E.T. kind of look? Yeah. Am I ready to go bet on it? No. I have a hunch? Yeah. Let me ask this question. Why does it matter to you? Why does it matter? Simple. Especially in the world of this kind of stuff, make sure you speak about really simple stuff, low-hanging fruit, things that don't take any involvement, anything whatsoever. Anything. Make sure you say everything or talk about things that are just like Leah Thomas is perfect. The reason why that's important is she is a man. There's no good kidding around. There's a picture before and after with no surgery being done. This is a no-brainer. You don't need Candace Owens to get to the bottom of this one. Okay, you don't need Michelle Obama and all that crazy. This is a man, clearly a man. And somebody along the way said, let's see if we can put out this fact that she is a whatever, that he is a woman. Ryan says, when confronted with biological realities, I've heard lefties petulantly declare, I don't care whether it's fair, it's exclusionary, and that's all I care about. Well, exclusionary, thank you very much, Ryan. Exclusionary is also a big is a big deal. And specifically, the reason why it's important, it's critical because eligibility is exclusion. Eligibility is exclusion. By its very nature. Anything, weight class, age, amateur versus professional status, whatever, all of that is exclusionary. So it's also it's requirement. ChatGPT always strokes my ego in advance of my questions and answers. And by the way, Fred, you have to add little code words ahead of time to say something to the effect of, no intros. You can tell it, here's a rule, chat. Don't say, hey, great question, or here, no. Also, if you're going to be doing any kind of copy and paste, put no bolds, because the bolds will come across as asterisks before it. So the point is, we don't know. But the best part is that the president stands for something, because let me tell you something. I am finding out, did you change, not change something, well, I guess I am. Did you see Rick Sanchez, who's a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, an old colleague, interviewing Max Blumenthal on how basically everybody in Trump's cabinet, including Susie Wiles and others, was a Netanyahu, not plant, but a Netanyahu associate, acolyte, whatever you want, whatever word you want to use. It's one of the most fascinating stories you will ever see. And they have absolutely no clue whatsoever. Barry Weiss is still pulling this. This is the last gasp of this claim of anti-Semitism. We're beyond the anti-Semitism thing. Nobody's even talking about that. They don't know what to do. America for the first time is finding itself at the end of its rope regarding what has been happening in terms of Bibi and the president. And we're not buying it. Susie says, Lionel, in Diddy's case, can a split decision be rendered like on the racketeering charge? Yeah. Split decision might be not guilty of racketeering, guilty of... There are different cases. You can be guilty of violation of the Mann Act, guilty of sex trafficking. It's ridiculous. What am I saying? Bradley Sanders. Jimmy Swaggart dead. I loved Jimmy Swaggart. Didn't you love him in the old days? Wasn't he great? Jimmy Swaggart was fantastic. Jimmy Swaggart was absolutely wonderful. See what I'm saying? Wonderful. This was a time when I was so involved in absolutely being fascinated by the likes of those folks who were, what am I trying to say? Evangelical ministers and the like. Absolutely love it. I have sinned. Absolutely. He was wonderful. Jimmy Swaggart was Jerry Lee Lewis's cousin, I believe. Let me see here. Let's see, what do we have? Let me see. I have sinned, yes, he was wonderful. Rounded up lost sheep. Rounded up lost sheep. What does that mean per se? Rounded up Lost sheep. Was he the one who made everybody faint on stage? No. That was two things. Benny Hinn was one, and then Ernest Angley before that. Didn't they catch Jimmy in the red light district? I think his thing was pornography. I think it was, which is very interesting. Now watch this. Let's just go to chat. Let us figure this out. Let me ask, what was the scandal that involved Jimmy Swaggart? Let's see what our friend chat says. By the way, I'm so sorry. When I look at my iPad, I get this reflection here. 1988, a wildly popular Pentecostal was exposed for consorting with prostitutes. There we go. The investigation was triggered by rival evangelist Marvin Gorman, who had been publicly disgraced by Swaggart. Photographs were taken of Swaggart entering and exiting a motel in the company of a known prostitute, Deborah Murphy. In 1991, he was again found with another prostitute in California. This time, he told the congregation, "The Lord told me it's flat none of your business." He built a reputation. It was wonderful. See, I love when hypocrites. Let me ask you something. Do you believe that Jimmy Swaggart, very simple, do you believe that Jimmy Swaggart was full of shit? Do you? Yes or no? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Do you believe that Jimmy Swaggart was full of shit? I love you, Lionel, but do you ever sleep? The two have nothing to do. But, I love you, but do you like golf? I love you, but have you ever been to Montana? I don't get it. Private dancer, again, private dancer. John Jelaine says private dancer. What does that mean, John? Private dancer, Tina Turner. He had a private dancer. What? Now, if Jimmy Swaggart is full of shit, basically, does that mean because evangelicals are full of shit? Born-agains are full of shit? Or the whole notion of being a preacher is full of shit? Money for dancing, horizontal jogging. John Jelaine just at home amusing himself. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. The bottom line is simply this. I think they are full of it because God does not speak through these people the way it is. God does not speak virtually at all. There's no evidence of God speaking. There just isn't. You can interpret anything you want. You can look at the clouds and you can see a face there, but there's no evidence of God being present, much less speaking, and much less speaking through Jimmy Swaggart. So that's the way that goes. So not only is he full of shit, I think the entire industry is, because God does not talk to people through intermediaries who play the piano and are the cousins of what's his name? You got what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway, dear friends, July the 19th, I'll be at the cutting room. This has been fun. I love to open up the phones and let everybody in the day room of the psych ward just start throwing things out, and it's fun. That's the way it is. It's a free country. The Rev was a model human. I have no idea. This is so terrific, and I hope when people read this, and I never read anybody else's. Maybe other people write this as well. I don't read live comments from other people, but yours is the best because you're like watching the wrong channel or something, or maybe you're, I don't know, but it's fascinating. And look, we all enjoy ourselves one way or the other, and I'm resigned to it. I thought I was wasting my time. I thought this was just stupid, but I realized, no, it's not. That's just the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, my friends? Meet me right now in 5 minutes on 77 WABC. I will be there. I will talk about you behind your back. You're kind of a good warm-up. We're going to be talking a little bit about Diddy and Leah Thomas and other stuff as well. So you have a wonderful and a great day. Don't forget, July 19th, see me at the cutting room. I love yous all. You're demented. You were completely up big time. I mean, royally. But I love yous. I honestly love yous. All right, my friends. Talk to you later. Have a great and glorious day. See you later. And don't forget, until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da-da.